This is how I shower. Grandma with Thor's hammer. Have you ever lit a cigarette with a neutron star? This behavior is Oh.
You ready, Charlie?
Hell yeah, I am. Gotham needs me. I invited these Eastern European dancers to add some interesting background footage. I think it's really nice. They'll never catch me. What? Oh, no! Don't take me away! I can trick your mind into listening to K-pop. I need to stretch my legs. Fresh kicks. Let me demonstrate a fraction of my power. I've had enough of this wall. The ends will meet. So, what do we do?
I guess, find out where we are.
Have we always been here?
What do you mean?
I feel like the cave has changed a bit.
Doesn't seem like it.
Cleaning his house probably starved him of his trash air dust. He lost his power. He's even balding. I could pull it out if I wanted to.
Yeah, well, I super glue my hair onto my scalp, so good luck.
Guys, what is that?
Hello there, chat. If there's any good use for AI, it's for shitposts like this. Well, I fucking love AI videos like this. And since I never have any idea what to put as a pre-show video for it, I can just use shit like that. It's free after all. Either way, welcome to... We ran out of towers because there were only 2. So now we're hitting another government building. And by that, I mean we're dropping another fucking Vice article because, you know, 2 weren't enough, I guess. And I'm fucking doubting it's gonna end on 3. Because once you smell blood in the water, it's just, you know, sharks are gonna be coming and coming and coming. But before that, let me get some music up. We can discuss what happened in the interim. Because a lot of shit happened between the article dropping and the previous article dropping. Because that's what we operate on. May has been an extremely busy month for VTuber drama, as you probably noticed. What has happened recently? Like, there's the Cinder drama. What else happened? Of course, there's the Kirsche drama, which we are part of at the moment. There's the Vialur drama, which is also connected to this. What else happened, chat? Refresh my memory. I'm a little bit out of it. There's so much stuff to keep track of, and I can't be bothered. Honestly, super duper honest with you, I cannot be bothered to keep track of everything. Oh yeah. This is something even more personal to me. A pedophile has returned and is now playing innocent. You probably, if you follow my Twitter account, you've probably seen the post. So yeah, that's also happened. Like, super fun, isn't it? Like, it's like the prelude to an apocalypse or something. Like, what else is gonna happen? Like, the dead are gonna come back from their graves or some shit. I don't know. Either way, I need my background music, or this is not gonna be fun for me or anybody else for that matter. Okay, here we go. So, dear assembled chatters, you need to know what has been going on in the past, what is it, like a week, 2 weeks at this point? Well, if you've been on my stream last time where we covered the article and parts of Anna Valence's career, and also we're deconstructing the modus operandi of how Anna Valence writes the articles, like what is really behind the articles, and spoilers, it's always revenge and some kind of power trip. Well, this one is also that, but it's even worse, because the latest article is the equivalent of Mom and Dad, the people, I mean the kids in the playground are being mean to me, and I need to write a hit piece on a very popular publication about them. Well, declining popularity, but you know what I mean. That's the equivalent of this article. And if you thought the pretense of journalism was weak on the previous two, well, this one doesn't even have any pretense. It's just what it is. It's just a glorified blog post where a person complains that they're getting owned on the fucking internet. That's the fucking thing that it is, and it's fucking brilliant. But yeah, I promised to tell you guys what's been going on. Well, the harassment campaign against Kirsch has been intensifying on the waves of multiple posts on social media, on Twitter, currently X, led by your favorite terminally online person that is bent as always, also Anna Valence as his knight, I guess. So Anna Valence doesn't get it as big enough of attraction as Bint does, which is pretty funny to me, all things considered. They've been finding all kinds of things on Kirsche. Oh, Kirsche has said this one time. Kirsche has knows this guy. Kirsche has said this and that at this time, and this is really bad. And this defines Kirsche's views to everybody and everyone else. All of the things that Kirsche says are completely defining of Kirsche's beliefs, and we don't like these beliefs. Therefore, we're gonna be ruining Kirsche. We're gonna be taking away her financial support. We're gonna be taking away Kirsche's ability to make money by constantly contacting gamer subs until they decide to drop her. And that's what it has been for the past week or 2 weeks or so. Of course, the campaign against Kirsche, at least from Bint alone, has continued for several months now. There's a video on Twitter circulating right now where one user called Azehara, who was also a face clipper, and Kirsche clipper too, at the same time, he made a video of all the times Bint has decided to mention Kirsche over the last few months, and the video is like 3 minutes long, and scrolling past all the fucking messages that Bint has made about Kirsche, clearly showing that Bint isn't obsessed and isn't in it for some kind of weird power trip. And it's very obvious that it's a power trip because it just outright say so. Just look up how Bint says that he should add what he's doing to his resume. All the messages that he sent about Kirsche gamer subs and to all of his followers. Insane. And yeah, that has been going on. But you know, that wasn't enough. The article about Kirsche on Vice, that wasn't enough. Like, at all. So, Anna Valence decided to do the smart thing. And go to places like 4chan and 8chan to see what they're talking about. Specifically, ego search themselves on both of these Chan websites. And lo and behold, it seems that Chan-related or Chan-adjacent websites are a little bit hateful. They're a little bit pissed off that, one, Valens decided to go after Vialur, and 2 decided to go after Kirsche. And lo and behold, they weren't very kind to Anna Valens. And oh boy, how could this happen? How could I go to a 4chan adjacent board, like 8chan and 4chan boards, go into threads and expect kindness, a reasonable discussion, and not shit posting and slurs being thrown at me? How could this happen to me? I have deliberately entered a space full of things I do not like, and now I'm mad. And I'm mad to the point where I'm gonna be live tweeting about this on Blue Sky. And I'm also so mad I'm gonna be writing articles about this on Vice, painting it as a harassment campaign against me because I'm so fucking important. Never mind that I decided to antagonize these people myself, but it's a harassment campaign, yeah. You know, when you enter a bear's den, you should probably expect the bear to be kind of pissed off. You should really expect the bear to, especially if it's in winter time, you should expect the bear to either be hibernating, and if it does wake up from its sleep, it's gonna be very hungry and it's gonna fucking kill you. It's gonna kill you and it's gonna eat you. It's not even gonna leave bones behind, because that's how fucking hungry it is. And that's essentially what happened with this article. But the audacity of all of this shit is even funnier. Because, you know, Valens is getting fucking owned on 4chan, 8chan, being called all kinds of slurs, being told to kill themselves. But this is the fault of the fan bases. This is the fault of Kirsche and Vialur somehow. Why didn't Kirsche and Vialur tell all of these terrible people on these chan boards to behave and to use the right pronouns for Anna Valens? Because that's also very important, and I'm not even making this up. Why doesn't this independent VTuber, and doesn't this VTuber agency step in and tell boards on 4chan and tell all of these anonymous users not to do this shit? Why don't they stop? Like, why are they so hateful? Why are they so hateful and antagonistic to a person that started shit with them in the first place? How the fuck does that work? I don't know. I don't know how the internet works. I'm 5 years old, I guess. But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I've divided today's stream into several parts because the article is not the only thing I want to talk about today. It's not gonna be a long stream, I think, but we'll see. It usually kind of gets longish the more I have to read, and reading is always fucking fun for a person with dyslexia. But again, complaining about it at this point is just like, you know, it's like me being Anna Valens. It's like, you know, I decided to do it to myself, and now I'm complaining. So complaining about it's really fucking pointless. So again, I have divided today's stream into several parts. On the first part, we're going to be taking a look at the newest article, if you want to call that. It's a, again, glorified fucking blog post with grievances in it. With one person essentially showing how much they're getting owned online. It's like a self-owned version of someone posting their L's online. It's really fucking amazing, I have to tell you. I've never seen something like this. It's truly a sight to behold. Then we're gonna be talking about what has been going on social media related to this article, because Anna Valens is that kind of person that never fucking shuts up about anything. They always have to be a victim of something, because that's how the narrative works, that's how these people operate. It's always us versus them, it's always like evil Nazis or or whatever kind of convenient label they want to use against you, in order to paint themselves as a, you know, poor victim, and everyone else is bad, and I essentially did nothing wrong. That's what it's gonna be. And lastly, I want to show you a little bit of extra hypocrisy from Valence, because Valence is the type of person that keeps yelling, "Oh, these terrible fucking lolicons, how dare they be in fucking VTubing." Meanwhile, Valence does all the hypocritical things an auntie would do, and we're gonna go through some of those. Some of the older ones and some of the newest examples of that, because Anna Valence decided to ego search themselves again, and got magnetized to my Twitter account where I showed them being a fucking hypocrite. So they decided to, you know, do a little bit of reading and do a little bit of live responding on the Blue Sky account that they own. And there has been a little bit of back and forth, and I didn't get much answers because I only got deflections and other projections from them. It was truly a fucking fun time to be alive. So that's what we're doing, chat, and it's probably not gonna take too long. So let me get those article screenshots up, because we're not gonna be reading the article directly from the source. Because why give that piece of garbage more clips? Why do that? Why put money in that person's pocket? We're not doing things like that in this stream. So just let me get them up, and then we can get the show on the road. Again, you have to understand that this article is just a fucking list. And yeah, even the headline and how it starts is pretty fucking magnificent. Let's just hold up. Oh, the screenshots are so fucking big. I don't even see them. Hold up. Let me try to fix that real quick, because I don't like this. Just give me a moment, chat. This, not that. This is what happens when you don't stream regularly. All things get kind of fucked up, and you don't really know how to fix them properly. Scale filtering. What is this? Full screen screenshots. How did you even center something that has gone off the fucking rails? I do not know. But again, give me a moment to fix it. You guys can get yourselves a drink while I'll get those screenshots up somehow. I'll be back in like 1 or 2 minutes. There we go, troubleshooting live. Professional fucking streamer. Let's fucking go. Alright, so this is the headline that they decided to use for their article. VTubing has an elephant in the room, bigotry. VTubing has a problem with the right-wing harassment. Anna Valens shares her experience by Anna Valens. Do you guys remember that old meme with two Obamas standing one after the other, and one of them is giving the other one a medal? This is essentially what this is. It's really embarrassing, you know, to essentially prop up an opinion piece written by yourself about yourself and write about yourself in a different person. It's just really fucking funny to do. Just label your piece an opinion piece and use the first person. Like, I mean, people like Valens really like fucking pronouns and shit like that, so what's the problem here? It's no problem, just use the first person. Talk about yourself in the first person. You don't have to do this spiel that this is some sort of piece that went through editorial and someone said, yeah, I think people want to read about you getting owned on 4chan and 8chan. I think Vice readers are really interested in that kind of content. And of course, because, you know, this is a vendetta, this is a revenge piece, this is like a fucking Greek tragedy. They included a screenshot that includes two Allure VTubers, and as well as Kuri at the top, and a screenshot which I believe is from 8chan that says, "Please join the 41%, Anna. You will never be a woman." How terrible and how unexpected from, again, a 4chan adjacent website to be transphobic. Like, how unexpected is that they tell you to kill yourself? I would have never expected such a thing from the users of 8chan. Completely unprecedented behavior. Let's go through this shit. Earlier this week, independent VTuber Rin Penrose announced the end of her partnership with gaming supplement company GamerSups. According to Penrose, her decision came due to their associations with creators whose views strongly conflict with my own, as well as the lack of communication from the company on this issue. Which, again, to me is a very weird thing to do, because Rin Penrose, if you guys don't know her, like an former idol talent agency. Rin has never been outspoken in terms of like drama, because this is certainly responding to fucking drama. So this is incredibly unusual for her to do in the first place. And second of all, why would you even do this? Like, what's the point of that? What's the point of involving yourself in another person's drama and controversy? If you want to drop the company, you could have done so quietly. Like, and maintained any sort of, integrity. Other than that, I don't know what else this is supposed to be other than signaling some kind of virtue to people. Capitalizing on the drama, which is, again, strange to me, because Rin has never done shit like this before. Is this the decision of someone else other than Rin? I don't know. But, you know, since Rin tweeted this out herself, it is what it fucking is. I just find it extremely strange to do that, especially from her. But let's continue. Penrose's decision reflects one I've heard from sources across the English-speaking VTuber community. All is not well among GamerSups partnered content creators. Last month, I reported on controversial GamerSups partner Kuri has a well-documented history of espousing racist and transphobic beliefs. Kuri has since addressed our article. Don't fucking use plural here. it's not like, you know, Vice has completely signed off on this shit. Vice, I imagine, has absolutely no fucking editorial oversight over this shit. And you can write whatever the fuck you please on this glorified fucking blogspot. That's what it is. Don't fucking say our. This is your shit. Just say my article. Don't say like this is like some kind of group effort. Claiming she does not condone or promote racism. The VTuber was recently the subject of another article regarding her views on Shiloh Hendricks, a white woman who called a black child the N-word. According to a clip of Kish, she does not believe Hendricks' behavior is okay. However, Kish believes Hendricks' racist action are just kind of the consequences of where we are now, unfortunately. Claiming there are people advocating for violence on both sides of racial justice. I mean, is that wrong? That's a complete accurate statement of what's going on. Like, if any of you guys ever watched one of Jim's, Mr. Medaker's last stream, he put it very aptly that like this has become a really weird race war. On one side, there's been people gathering money on a crowdfunding website for a killer of a white kid, a black killer of a white kid, and then on the other side you have people crowdfunding this woman that called the black kid the N-word in front of fucking everybody while being filmed by an alleged pedophile, which is again a real fucking coincidence to happen. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, reality sometimes is more ridiculous than any kind of fiction. And both of these sides, the ones that are trying to stand the murderer and the ones that are trying to stand this racist lady, are trying to one-up each other on the donation amounts. So this has become a weird race crowdfunding war, and that's pretty much how it's been prescribed. So what Keisha is saying here is completely true. That's what's happening, and those are facts. So I don't know how this is relevant to Keisha being bad, but let's continue. And of course, Bent is useless as a source. Reiterating what the article just said. Keisha says it's not okay to hurl racist abuse at 5-year-old. It's the consequences of where we at right now. Invokes George Floyd to say there's two-tier justice system and that people calling children slurs is an outcome of white people being the real victims. Of course, the usual bin spin on it. Why not? To be clear, Penrose did not specifically name any creator in her Gamer Subs announcement. Nor is the only controversy plaguing the company as anger has mounted over Gamer Subs' partial owner, Cinder, a prominent VTuber accused of significantly mistreating her model artist and VTuber colleagues. Regardless, I suspect Penrose won't be the last creator to cut ties with Gamer Subs in the weeks ahead. Penrose is a major creator in the VTubing space, and I suspect her departure will embolden others to voice their displeasure. Gamer Subs radio silence on Keisha's comments. Or at very least, they may be utterly alarmed by the kind of vitriol being posted under Penrose's announcement feed. The replies, to be blunt, are a dumpster fire. One Twitter user said Penrose's announcement was a virtue signal over Keisha. I mean, what else can it be interpreted as? If you want to drop a fucking sponsor, just fucking drop it. Why do people need to know why you did it in the first place? What would other reason be for that? Another demanded no politics, stop crying. A third called Penrose a pussy. A fourth told Penrose she was fucking stupid. A fifth described her as firing yourself because you're retarded. A self-described American nationalist declared the less of you virtue signaling retards, the better. As a VTubing has no need of leftoid Marxist drivel, we're obsessed with right-wingers. I mean, tell me a statement that's false here. Like, challenge me on this. Which statement here is a false one? Because I really want to know. VTubing has both no place for leftoids or rightoids trying to fucking push politics. And you know, as much as Kirsche talks about politics, I don't think that's right either. Because again, it's divisive in every fucking community, no matter what your own personal beliefs are. You're gonna be mentioning that, you're gonna be sowing division, and then shit like this is gonna be happening, and everyone's gonna have a bad time. Except drama tubers who are just sitting there and laughing at all of this shit happening. We aren't playing your gay little game anymore, the user wrote. Get lost. Again. No falsehoods detected. And here's a guy quote retweeting Rin Penrose. Can I be real? All this does is make people respect gamer subs even more. Threatening companies to become more hostile and toxic and making people feel like they're walking on eggshells for expressing their opinion is wrong. It feels dystopian, like when I see tweets like this. Because you guys need to understand one thing here. Everything that's right-wing, everything that isn't a leftoid, lefty, adjacent political belief is bad, evil, and needs to be chased out and destroyed. There's no live and let live, because one side, whether it's leftoids or rightoids, thinks the other one is objectively bad and needs to be removed from sites. That's how it works. There's absolutely no gray area in this shit. There's bad guys and there's good guys, interchangeably, whether you're a leftoid or rightoid, and both of these sides need to get destroyed by one another, preferably. And all the moderate voices, all the ones that at least try to be reasonable, I'm not talking about enlightened centrists here, because these guys usually take on such an attitude that, you know, maybe this guy told you to kill yourself, but this guy was a little bit mean on the right side, therefore both of you guys are bad. This is your typical enlightened centrist view that tries to push that even though one side has objectively said something extremely bad, the other side that said something to a much lesser degree, they're both on the same fucking playing field. They're playing by the same fucking rules. And there's plenty of people like that. One prominent one, I guess, which maybe some of you know, is Short Fat Otaku. He loves to play that fucking game. But this tangent aside, that's how it works. These articles work because Kirsch's opinions are evil, and they need to be removed from the sites. Let's continue. The quote tweets are no improvement, despite the professional and diplomatic tone in Penrose's statement. One user argued that the VTuber was threatening companies to become more hostile and toxic and making people feel like they're walking on eggshells for expressing their opinion. Another suggested Penrose wanted gamer subs to engage in cancel culture. Heard criticized Penrose for siding with the Twitter freaks and declared her fully retarded in all caps. It means they yelled, chat. Fully retarded. Bro, look at these comments on this. A concerned VTuber fan wrote, quote tweeting Penrose. The VTuber scene has been absolutely infested with right-wing weirdos, luckily defending a VTuber that spouts the great replacement theory and is just bigoted from head to toe. What happened to the community I loved? Oh, the fucking humanity. You know, never mind that all the fucking cancellation attempts, all the damn time on Twitter in regards to VTubing, there's always some kind of lefty spin to it. But it's but the VTubing community, as they call it, the VTuber scene is infected by right-wing VTubers apparently. Not cancel happy leftoid retards. That's the outlook they have on this. Funny that I've been observing this shit for over 5 years, how English VTubing has been quote-unquote evolving or devolving into these tribalistic slap fights. And someone espousing rightoid views, like among like actual VTuber creators, is extremely fucking rare. Like almost unheard of. And whatever is labeled a right-wing opinion or a right-wing fan, it's just some dude telling you that you're retarded and, you know, leave people the fuck alone. That's usually what it is. Whether they're trying to cancel a VTuber for lolicon, because leftoids apparently hate lolicon quite a bit, despite being always very hypocritical about it, and later being found out to be either some kind of sex predator or like a genuine pedophile. Happens more than I can fucking count at this point. So many fucking documents about this, and there's even a list being circulated for many years now. So, you know, if you're looking for pattern recognition here, antis turned out to be sex pests and pedophiles much more frequently than any fucking lolicon ever has. So, you know, you start noticing some things, and then you notice patterns yourself. And that's how it is. That's how it is, dear chat. But it's, but clearly, the VTuber scene, the VTuber community is infested by right-wing fans and right-wing creators. And it's a huge problem, apparently. Let's continue with this shit. Valor CEO hates troons, they don't care. Here's a very low resolution screenshot of a 4chan post. Let's read all of that. How do I feel? I don't want any T-slurs in Valor. MTF, FTM, anything? I don't want T-slurs to interact with the talents even, and no collabs either. I don't hate T-slurs either. I just don't want them interacting with the talents, especially if they have a fucking penis. This is like some weird, it's kind of like a weird spin on a unicorn, like a unicorn VTuber fan. It's really funny. This goes for male tubas as well, so don't think it's me singling out trans people. Like that's very progressive of you, Anonymous. I have to say, you're very impartial in your hate. You just don't want these penis havers to be anywhere close near your VTubers. I don't care if they sound feminine. I don't want them and knowing they would be in private DMs and hanging out with my Oshi. I don't want my Oshi in a position to be compromised, even if I know that she is wonderful and loyal, because it makes me uncomfortable and insecure. Especially if it turns out the worst comes to pass and it was just an act and they were a sex pest freak that tries to get into the talent's panties. I don't mean to hurt any feelings either, but it might be impossible for me to say and not. Another thing is that if you weren't born with a vagina and you've got a female that's either straight or someone that involves liking men, you'd be wasting your time with via lure. You don't have the experience or expertise to bring trans talents to success, and the audience broadly is not interested or hostile or is hostile to some degree. Which is just true. That's just matter-of-factly put. Again, this will come off quite cruel or mean, but it's important to me that there are no trans talents at VLOR now or in the future. I would feel very betrayed if they did hire transsexual talents after everything. I wouldn't support the company anymore, despite how much I have invested already in terms of money. I like that money is capitalized here. Love, effort, and time, and these other things aren't. If there was a tourist baiting, I'm sorry for baiting. You know, you never fucking know with 4chan what is a shit post and what is genuine. But I've read so many weird unicorn posts that are just completely genuine. I'm willing to believe that this one is actually fucking serious. Because, you know, either way, it's pretty fucking funny. And then there's more commentary on that one. I don't want any T-slurs in VLR. A 4chan user wrote on April 4th, 2025, I don't want T-slurs to interact with talents, even no collabs either. It's okay, Anna, they can read the screenshots. You don't need to quote what people already see. Make this smaller. There was a thread on 4chan's virtual YouTuber image board, VT, dedicated to safe work voice acting agency VLR. That reoccurring thread called VAG, they always have really fucking good acronyms for this shit, has since moved to one on 8chan's successors. But before the transfer over, one Anon espoused their intense feelings on trans talent in VLR, not trans women, not trans people, period. Their talent could not be allowed in VLR, as trans voice actors could contaminate the company's talent. Besides that, Anon wrote, the audience broadly is not interested or hostile in some degree. That's why I and the Allens will take an anonymous, very likely shitpost, or even if it isn't, but I'm gonna take an anonymous opinion and I'm gonna make a whole fucking section in my another weird hit piece article dedicated to it. I fucking love journalism. Let's just take shitposts and take them seriously. Or let's just, you know, let's just make one person's opinion the general opinion of a fan base, because this guy said so. Because this guy said that, oh, we don't want transgender people in VLR. Therefore, it must mean that the whole community doesn't want that. Let's not go to other places to see how they feel. Let's just go to the most egregious, let's just go to the most aggressive places on the internet and ask them for their opinion on what you consider a marginalized group. I wonder what kind of response are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a reasonable response full of acceptance of them? Or are we gonna get a response like this where they are being called slurs? I wonder what would happen. But that is enough for Anna Valens to paint the whole fanbase as such. Just go to these awful places, because why the fuck not? Let's continue. Again, when you already post a screenshot, you don't need to quote it while adding virtually no commentary of your own to it. Just kind of fucking pointless. A screenshot is enough. It's just padding for an article that's already pretty fucking lengthy for no reason whatsoever. I don't care if they sound feminine, I don't want them, and knowing they would be in private DMs and hanging out with my Oshi. That poster said, Oshi is a VTubing term used to refer to one's favorite VTuber, their idol. I don't put my Oshi in a position to be compromised, even if I know she's a wonderful and loyal, because it makes me uncomfortable and insecure. Especially if it turns out the worst comes to pass, and it was just an act, and they were a sex pest freak that tries to get into the talent's panties. Maybe seem a bit peculiar to focus so heavily on one Anon's rant. Oh, you fucking think? You really think that would be strange to do? I wonder why. Because it looks desperate? Maybe that's why? But his anxiety over trans talents represents a wider sentiment of bigotry festering across VTubing. Why don't you show it in other places, other examples of that? Show it and do some statistics on that. Tell me what percentage is this vile, bigoted group. I want to know. Because as far as I'm seeing, a lot of... In fact, I would say one of the majority of VTuber fan bases is either apolitical or is more left-leaning than right-leaning. That would be my guess from my own experience and these 5 years I've spent within the and VTuber community. I've seen all kinds of fans. Most VTuber fans, by my experience, don't want any of this shit near their favorite VTubers. They just don't want them to be involved in any kind of fucking awkward political talk. V2 being one that Fortune has played a welcome home for quite some time. In June 2024, a lesbian Anon requested an ASMR audio suggestion from Via Lure fans, stressing she is not a Teasler. In May 2024, a Via Lure fan demanded users to stop talking about Futanari content involving the agency's talent, threatening to shitpost a reply saying Via Lure says no trans hires. In January 2025, a user said Via Lure would be fine as long as the company doesn't hire a Teasler. In April 2025, when one user warned Via Lure attracts a lot of envy and there's a Teasler army sitting at them, and Anna responded Via Lure's stronic cuties was in 4chan's corner. And we're gonna be taking all of these anonymous users' opinion as facts, because why the fuck not? Valence knows what kind of place 4chan is, but Valence is also banking that the readers of this article do not fucking know what kind of place 4chan and 8chan are. If you go to any of these places, if you've been reading them for years, again, it's very hard to take any of the shit that these people are saying as fact or as serious, because it reads unhinged a lot of the time to like a normal person that wants to be a little bit reasonable, not like these people. That's why accounts exist, gimmick accounts exist on Twitter that document behavior of 4chan users, especially VT users, and there's even one that made a huge fucking career out of it. There's Parrot. There's Parrot that makes compilations of all of these fucking unhinged posts for the fucking entertainment of it, and, you know, just makes a laughing stock out of all of this. If you go to 4chan or any chan adjacent place, you cannot expect them to be fucking serious about anything, because you're in for a fucking disappointment. If you take them seriously, you're just looking like a fucking fool. You may be fooling the fucking normies that would be reading this shit, but then again, I doubt normies are interested that you are getting fucking owned on some anonymous image board. I think they'd rather be attracted to all of these drug articles that Vice likes to post. They fucking love their drugs. Via Lure CO hates tunes that Anon said of cuddles. They don't care. A man is so addicted to porn that he wants to mutilate himself to fulfill his fantasy. And this is where the self-ownage begins. And the screenshots say all Teaslers should be killed. By not addressing it, this is an obvious smear piece. This is, of course, talking about the Via Lure stuff. Written on a flimsy ground by someone with an obvious axe to grind. That kind of people that watch VTubers don't care about this either. The era of, oh my god, Nazi cancel them, doesn't work anymore. Can't believe Vice is still around. Taken from VYT thread, film 8chan about Vice's report on Kirche. Oh, this was not about Kirche, but Via Lure, but either way, these two things are connected. Like, again, this is all a revenge ploy. Nothing else. It's just disguised as some kind of weird activism. Disguised once again as journalism. In April 2025, I wrote a piece for Vice exploring Bielur's controversial nature. And the controversy is that they have lolicon talents and they want female VTubers. That's the controversy. There was no fucking controversy before this. Let me take a sip. I'm getting a little bit dry here. The article discusses the VTuber agency's comfort with lolicon talents. Again, fucking harping on that lolicon shit. Performing explicit ASMR. Bielur's self-imposed limitations on female for female or female for female content. And the company's handle on trans talent. In short, Bielur did not give any answer during its 2024 Generation 1 auditions as to whether trans talent were able to apply as female applicants, sparking concern among potential trans applicants. The Not Safe for Group finally broke its silence on matters with Generation 2's auditions, stating that anyone self-identifying as a woman was encouraged to audition. However, Bielur seemed to imply that trans talent had to pass for cisgender women with their voices, and some of the talent within the organization seemed to downplay the sensitive and serious nature of the question at hand. I mean, listen to yourself. If a VTuber agency wants to cater to men that want to listen to typical female voices, if they happen to encounter a voice that is not that is a husky male voice, because, you know, a lot of transgender people do not pass on that account as well, then, you know, it's bad for business. So why would people like this be employed by them? Again, if you don't have the ability for that, it doesn't necessarily mean you're hated and excluded under some grounds of discrimination. It just means you're not fit for the part. This is not a job for you. You don't meet the qualifications for it, and you should go and find something that fits your particular skill set. But again, I guess not passing in terms of voice is still a problem. Even though, you know, Generation 2 said that, oh, even if you're female identifying, that's okay, as long as you sound female. But nah. We have to push ourselves into this group as well, because unless they fucking grovel at the feet of all of these people that do not meet these requirements, then this is just simply not good enough. The struggle session needs to continue. Let's continue ourselves as well. Bielur remains the biggest English language adult VTuber agency on the market. I do believe the company should be held to higher standards on these topics. This is why I decided to write an article addressing, in my personal opinion, the biggest issue with the company. The article was received positively on Blue Sky, but negatively on Twitter. Ooh, surprise on that one. Yeah, you mean Blue Sky, the fucking echo chamber of leftoids and all of the people that I have covered in my fucking hobbies career, if you want to call it that. We would be fucking surprised how many fucking troublemakers that I covered in the past are on Blue Sky and congregate around Valence. It's like a fucking Legion of Doom, except with retarded people and not actual villains. Like, I go through the list and I'm like, I know this one. Hey, I recognize this one. I know what this one did exactly. And they're still there virtue signaling as if they never did anything wrong in their fucking lives. And all of them are just cancel happy pigs. That's essentially what it is on Blue Sky. Because, you know, you actually get banned on Blue Sky for wrongthink. So don't be surprised where your article was received positively there and negatively on Twitter, where people actually are allowed to express differing opinions. Funny that, isn't it? Likely due to misplaced anxiety that was criticizing Generation 1's talent, not the policies of VLR's management, which resulted in the F4F ban, mishandling of the trans talent question, and of course, the decision to appeal to lolicon fans to begin with. Oh, boo! These terrible lolicons! How dare they infest my VTubing community? It's not like VTubing isn't full of fucking lolicons. How could this fucking happen? Jesus Christ, man. People are very fucking weird. Where did I leave off? Still accepting and respecting good faith criticism is part of being a journalist. Yes, this is all in good faith. This is not because you got butthurt that you didn't like something about the company and decided to write a smear piece about them. And this is not because you didn't get accepted for the writing position that you actually applied to for VLR. No, it's not that. This is a good faith journalism. Taking anonymous opinions, not taking actual fans' opinions and presenting them here too, to show that you don't have a bias. This is good faith journalism. This is not yellow journalism to further your agendas. No. Pat yourself on the back, you stupid piece of shit. For a job well done. Criticism is just understandable. More importantly, it's worth stressing that plenty of good faith criticism existed around my report. And unlike 4chan, I do not believe Cuddles or any other generation talent at VLR hate trans people. I wouldn't fucking say that because there's some posts I remember by Valence on Blue Sky that go after specific VLR talents and try to hint that they might be transphobic. So this is a fucking lie. You fucking put a lie into the very article they wrote. I think there's just a lot of insensitivity around trans talent from management. It's just fucking management fault. How dare they? However, shortly after publishing my VLR piece, I was hit with a tidal wave of transphobic abuse. Right-wing VTuber fans turned the article into a rallying point to attack me personally instead of discussing the merits of my criticism. First of all, there would have to be merit to your quote-unquote criticism. Maybe if it didn't fucking sound and read like a fucking hit piece, maybe you'd have a little bit of a ground to stand on, but no, not in this case. One right-winger tweeted, I was just upset that VL doesn't cater to her fetishistic trans and queer porn addictions. How does Valence know what kind of leaning this person has? If they used your pronouns right here and said her, wouldn't that mean that they're more left-leaning than right-leaning? I would interpret that more as a left-leaning opinion because they used your pronouns right here. A right-winger, especially one, that doesn't stand for these sorts of beliefs, would have used he instead. So, how the fuck do you know that's a right-winger? I'd like to ask. A second used the slur tune and declared I was mad. Mad normal people won't pander. Another said Vice are disgusting closet diddlers who hate anything men like. I mean, some of your producers at Vice were outed as actual pests before, so not an inaccurate statement. While a fourth even insulted you, dear reader, declaring our readership dragged at mentally ill communists. That's, again, not inaccurate. But just listen to the way this reads. This is like some appeal to emotion from the reader. Reader, get mad at this. They are insulting you. You, Vice reader, don't you feel angry at these people that are calling you drug-addicted mentally ill communists? You that identify as Vice reader, you should be mad about this. This shit is so stupid and just manipulative for no other reason than just to, spurn people on. Disgusting shit. Here's Zan VT, VTuber PR business consultant, saying, "This isn't an April Fool's joke, unfortunately. The Vice just published a hit piece on VLore. Anna Valens, spelled wrong, is well known as a spurg. That's again accurate. An accurate assessment of Anna's behavior. She's one of those Tumblr porn generation types, also true. She's just upset that VLore doesn't cater to her fetishistic trans and queer porn addictions, which I also believe is true, because no matter what kind of article Anna usually does, it usually caters around some kind of fetish that Anna has. And Anna has many fetishes, and has to tell all the fucking people about it. And what's a better place to tell people about it than a major publication like Vice? Which I would imagine is also part of a fetish, some sort of exhibition fetish. Because it's not enough that Valens has these fetishes on their own. Valens also has to show it to everybody that they have these fetishes. Get off even harder. I mean, why else would you write an article on the Daily Dot many years ago that you decided to put a fucking butt plug vibrator in your fucking ass and then hug people unknowingly playing Fall Guys, and then you're getting off on it? I mean, why else would you tell that to people other than for a fetish? What other reason is there for that? I know Valens would probably defend that as, some kind of exploration of of queer sexuality, because they always do that. They always try to paint that as some sort of progressive experiment, not a fucking fetish just to get off on. But again, I told you guys about this on the last stream, that Valens got so eviscerated by her own side for this fucking article that they had to run away from the internet for a while and just, use the very common defense of, oh, everyone is trans misogynistic and everyone makes mistakes and boo fucking who. You went to get off on a game that kids play. And who the fuck knows if you haven't hugged some fucking children while your fucking vibrator is eviscerating your fucking insides. So, in essence, Anna Valens, this makes you a sex pest. This makes you a sex predator. And in a more generous interpretation, it also makes you a pedophile, because Fall Guys is a game for younger users. So you may have just been having fucking weird rapey e-sex with children. Congratulations, you dumb piece of shit. Amazing, isn't it, chat? Here comes more fucking brilliance. On the Visual Asylum forum dedicated to discussing VTubers, VTuber drama and the VTuber adjacent things, harassment continued. Is it really harassment if they, just talk about you and not direct it towards you? Like, just go to your channel, your YouTube channel that you don't have anymore, your Twitch channel or your Twitter? Is it really harassment if they just talk about you and you seek it out yourself? Because of course you do. You look at things that make you upset. People don't have to agree with you or even like you. And it's not fucking harassment if they fucking make fun of you on the forum. You're retarded. Just because someone is making fun of you, not directing it at you, like in the sense that they actually go to you directly, that doesn't mean it's fucking harassment. But call it whatever you want, as long as it makes you the victim, right? Fucking hell. One user called me a man so addicted to the point that he wants to mutilate himself to fulfill his fantasy. I mean, if Valens was brave enough to actually go through with the fucking vor fetish that they have, I have to show you some shit. Before we continue with this, I went to fucking Valens's Twitch channel to see like what kind of content they produce. And I was not surprised. I was disgusted. And I'm kind of fucking surprised that this is actually fucking allowed on fucking Twitch of all fucking places, and how this isn't banned as fetish content. Like, hold on, I need to screenshot this and show it to you guys, because you wouldn't believe me otherwise. Here on my streams, we don't just speculate needlessly, we like to show things to people. You know, provide a little bit of that pictorial evidence that people like to call. So, this is the kind of content that Anna Valens has clipped on Twitch. Do I need to comment? Like, just behold this. Like, I'm gonna enlarge this. And this could be a video, but a video is a little bit too graphic for YouTube, but not for Twitch, I guess. But this is Anna Valens's fucking VTuber model in 3D, dancing around with a engorged, enlarged stomach after having bored someone. And this is the type of content that is allowed on Twitch. It's not even conflation. This is just vor. This is Valens's fucking avatar having eaten someone, because Valens has a few major fetishes. One of them is giantess. The other one is vor. Both of these combined into this shit. That's what it is. I'm very good at identifying these fucking fetishes, believe it or not. But yeah, not a fetishist, by the way. I even made a comment on this on my last stream, where Valens was saying, "Oh, I don't write my articles to get off. This is not. I'm not doing it for sexual gratification or anything." You really want me to believe that shit? Enough of this monstrosity. Let's fucking continue, because we still have a little bit of the article to go through. Hold up. Just a moment. Where did I... okay. Here we go. Another said, YWNBAW, meaning you will never be a woman, and told me to cope, sieve, and dilate you fuck. A third described me as a pre-transition Coomer T-slur with as much charisma as a mealworm. I mean, the charisma part is, you know, subjective, but I don't think you've ever... I mean, some of you probably seen it, if you watch my streams, that is. You've heard Valens's voice, but you also never heard Valens's voice when Valens does ASMR content. It's, I'm gonna say it's an acquired taste. But it's that kind of acquired taste that you probably have to eat shit with both your mouth and your eyes and your ears, for that matter, to enjoy it. So the lack of charisma is probably more accurate and more objective than subjective. One poster even wrote 2 paragraphs about me. Oh. Just post your L's in the article, why don't you? One with correct pronouns and the one misgendering me. Oh, you poor fucking baby. Hiding the latter under a spoiler button reading, if male pronouns for Anna Valens will make you angry. Over on 4chan's VT, similar anti-trans rhetoric flooded the board. One user called me a salty T-slur, while another declared I was trying to sex pest the girls behind Valor. You know, allegations being allegations, but Valens is a sex pest, so it's to be expected. A third called me a wannabe woman coping and sieving hard, while an additional anon said Valor is kinda based and I'm feeling they'll cave in at some point. And one user, a self-described T-slur, said, I'm a single retard. And there are so many of those loud, obnoxious F-slurs, which make the rest of us look bad. That trans poster went on to call me a bitch who needs her shit kicked in because she wants to sex pest the girls. Like, and you deny. Valens denies that they have a humiliation fetish when they post all of this shit online for thousands of people to see. How could you ever come to the conclusion that Valens has a fucking humiliation fetish? I wonder why. I wonder how. Sexually harassing lies, half-truths and rumors become a popular way to target me. After the Allure article on the Virtual Asylum, a poster called me a T-slur who shoved a dildo up their ass that would rumble whenever they got grabbed, pushed on Fall Guys and played with a bunch of kids. This is completely made up a half-decade ago. No, this is not made up. This is completely true and there's all the evidence in the world for it. I even showed it last stream. Half a decade ago, I wrote an article for Data which has discussed putting a vibrator against the middle of my chest while playing Fall Guys with a group of unidentified players. The vibrator was set up to rumble when any control vibration occurred, including grabbing other players. Listen, even in the most generous thing that you're putting up here, you're talking about sex and sex acts, as well as about the lack of consent for your actions. In the article, even if it wasn't for whatever reason in your ass, this doesn't make that shit better. And there's all the evidence in the fucking world that people on your own side were fucking destroying you for the fact that you wrote an article about sexual explicit stuff while grabbing people that didn't know what the fuck you were doing in order to get off, while talking about sexuality, consent and shit. And again, as I was stressing, Fall Guys, a game for children, aimed at children, might have just been groping and getting the fuck off to fucking children. So again, congratulations. 2 or 3 times at the very start, I grabbed another player while testing the vibration effects. Until minutes into the stream, I realized I was grabbing another player, so I stopped. I wrote in 2020, and an archive link on Dailyload article shows the sex for accurately between my breasts. The toy cannot be inserted anally due to its shape. There's a will, there's a way, Chad. And for people like Anna, I bet they have all the fucking will in the world to do that. Again, even if by some generous interpretation it wasn't in your fucking ass, you're still fucking playing with a sex toy for sexual gratification in a game filled with children. And what the fuck would even inspire you to do this shit in a children's fucking game? Maybe you should have asked your question that. Maybe you should have asked that question yourself first, and before publishing it. But again, none of these fucking publications, they don't have any editorial oversight. You can write any piece of garbage you want. No one's going to take you to task for it. Unless you do something so bad you actually shut down the fucking website. Or get into the fucking lawsuit like Gawker did so many years ago. It's clear why far-right VTuber fans would spin these tales. They allow anti-trans bigots to paint me as a sexual predator and a pedophile, and thus discredit my writing by character assassination. No, you are a sex pest, a proven one that even is self-admitted by the existence of your article, and a suspected pedophile because the game is full of children. Congratulations, dumbass. There's also, I presume, the thrill of choosing a target to sexually harass justifiably. There's a lewd and lurid character to the lie, allowing harassers to simultaneously condemn me while fantasizing about my body being sexually penetrated by a vibrating butt plug. Valens, you dumb piece of garbage. Do not prop yourself up in an article thinking that the people that are against your shit actually want to fucking fuck you, and are and you are the target of their fantasies. Unlike the fantasies you wrote about raping cis women, painting all of that as a joke, and even recording audio about wanting to rape cis women in fucking breeding factories or some shit like that. I played that audio before on the last stream. I won't do it again because it's it's disturbing, to say the fucking least. But what kind of ego do you have to think that's this sort of shit? Delusion doesn't even begin to describe it. Let's continue. It's been a while. Been almost 1.5 hours in this article alone. I suspect lurid fantasies of anger, jealousy, and envy are also permanent, culminating in strange sexual obsession with me as a trans critic. Holy shit, the fucking ego on this one. Egotistical, delusional, and whatever else. This is the exact same right-winger also spread the rumor that I criticized VTuber because I applied for its Generation Y editions and was rejected, concluding they don't pass, and that was the reason when they got rejected. Again, I talked about this last stream. They didn't apply as a talent, but they did apply as a writer. And again, the fact that they got butthurt that VTuber wanted just female talents and not transgender people, this was enough to get so butthurt to actually write the article about it. Because again, revenge is best served retarded for people like this. This is an erroneous claim spread like wildfire across the English VTubing community, even though I directly stated in 2024 that I refused to audition for VL given the concerns with the agency's radio silence on trans talent. Yeah. The concerns is you, again, being butthurt about it. And then writing a hit piece, because revenge. Animosity has since festered across VTubing. Even those who believe I should not have transphobia sent my way. I still demand I lose my job and tell me to go fuck yourself in a bad way. Continuing the lewd nature of the harassment. They can't stop fantasizing about the fucking antis fucking you. And again, people wonder, and you wonder, why they tell you have a humiliation fetish when you so often talk about getting fucked by your critics. The mask has slipped off in VTubing. Here's some screenshots from, I guess, the the chat of the Under the T podcast. What does it say? Would it mean for me to say VTuber doesn't want to chance having autogenophiliacs? Probably not. Deserved, LMAO. There's no doubt in my mind that this backlash, tinged in the belief that I am a degenerate transbian with an axe to grind. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, and I proved that without a shadow of a doubt in my last stream. All the shit that you do is because of rejection, and you cannot handle rejection, and you do it out of petty revenge. There's multiple levels of butthurt every single fucking time before you write something about anyone. Even I was personally involved in that, but again, all of that is on the last stream. You can watch that one for more information. Inspired more right-wing VTubers and VTuber fans to engage in transphobia. One right-winger called Vialure based because, in his words, trans women are not welcome unless they believe and sound like women. Another also called Vialure based and argued there is zero monetary reason the company should ever consider tanking their business to appeal to less than 1% of the population. I mean, again, it's not fucking wrong. The business has a clear fucking model, and they do what they do to earn money. Stop trying to include yourself because you weren't like the things you believe in aren't accepted by them. How has society regressed so far that now people are unironically asking what does it mean to sound like a woman? A third VTuber fan concluded. Again, a reasonable statement. Female means female. An anxiety over the right to turn into anxiety over trans politics. A Christian VTuber declared Vice doesn't know what a female is. Well, apparently not. And a female is a biological woman, said VTuber probably harassed Roblox players by saying being gay is a sin. Like, listen. If a Christian VTuber believes being gay is a sin, then that's their belief. And the fact that they tell that to other players, is it harassment really? Because I don't think that's harassment, as a popular Niji Sanji VTuber said in the past. I do not think that's harassment, that's just their beliefs. And whether you believe it or not, it's still their belief. And whether they profess that belief doesn't necessarily mean it's harassment. VTuber podcast Under the Sea, popular with right-wing fans. Again, do you fucking have some kind of demographic app somewhere that tests for political alignment? Because I really fucking like to know. And calling someone like Moma Oko of Under the T right wing is really fucking stupid. Hosted an episode in the VLR article filled with chatters laundering homophobic and transphobic beliefs. One user claimed butch lesbians are basically female drag queens. Another said the article featured stupid questions that only trans could come up with. Third stated, of me, this person is a degenerate. I mean, you are. That's even hard to say. It's a subjective thing. It's an objective thing. I can show you so many ways in which Anna Valens is a fucking degenerate. It's not even an insult at this point. It's just a statement of fact. One chatter added, because it's a trans person, they only think about themselves when talking about taste and fetish. Well, in Valens's case, that is the case, because egotistical maniac. That's what it is. And here what it is. He's that Christian VTuber saying, reading this article, it looks like Vice doesn't know what a female is. A female is a biological woman. I don't watch VLR, this piece has bias written all over it. Mainstream media has been a poison for at least half a decade, and I'm honestly not surprised this is the case, I guess. That's what it said later. Hold up. Would it be mean for me to say Vielor doesn't want the chance of having autogynophiliacs? One chat user wrote, referencing to Chan's misogynistic belief that transgender lesbians are men attracted to the idea of being with another woman. Not just that. Autogynophiliacs are men that get off to the idea of actually being women and being with women. And there's plenty of people like that out there. They are not real trans people. They are not people suffering, for the most part, from any gender dysphoria. They are not people that need help in order to feel better in their bodies. They are sexual deviants that want to get off. But, you know, since the zeitgeist is the zeitgeist, they're using, you know, things like trans-misogynistic, that kind of term, you know, to avoid criticism of their actions. No! I too am a trans person like you all other people. The fact I have a billion fucking fetishes that I push onto everyone doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter that when I talk about my identity as a woman, it's always something sexual and I need to tell everyone how badly I want to fuck things and how badly I want to get fucked. No, it's not a fetish. I'm just like you other trans people. You that suffer from gender dysphoria. That have a problem accepting yourself in a body like that. No, I'm the same as you. I desire the same kind of protections. Do not dare call me sexual deviant. I'm gonna call you a bigot. Oh, fuck these people. The after-mentioned right-winger who claimed I shove a dildo up my ass while playing Fall Guys also appeared in the stream, arguing that trans people only try to invade the space they are not welcome in to try to make people bend over for you. He commented heavily throughout the stream, expressing his eagerness to create a Blue Sky account, as there's a good content to be farmed from there. There is. It's full of fucking dumb people to laugh at. The implication is obvious as to his intentions. Wow. Who the fuck? Kuri also fired a signal for her own community, attracting a transphobic feeding frenzy in her chat while discussing the VLUR article. One user declared, if you're a voice actor, no one wants to hear your husky baritone. Another stated, female could include trans men, I suppose, but clearly not trans women. Very argued, queer women don't exist, to which another replied, sadly people who call themselves queer do exist. Another joked, imagine if they just played Trump, you'll never be a woman speech. A fifth said, seeing men in female avatars is repulsive, while a sixth speculated, yeah, probably, I can't say they want trans outright, and seven quipped about wanting an F4F domestic violence ASMR. So terrible of them. All of these random fucking people. I didn't think gender discrimination for hiring applies to the entertainment field, a Kirsch fan argued. Another said I was an example of a classic tale of AGP extremist throws tantrum. Here, AGP here means autogynophile. Once again used to describe trans women as hysterical degenerates obsessed with women's bodies. No. Only people that act like you, Valens. Only you. A specific subset of people that dare to call themselves trans people. In one instance, Kisha cited a website with my dead name displaying it to her entire chat. This also included the incorrect pronouns. Oh. I like that they don't say Kiwi Farm specifically, because people will go to Valence's Kiwi Farms thread and see all of the shit that Valence has done over the years. And the fact that all of the shit, a lot of the shit in the article is just outright lies. See here? On her stream, on a highlight video on YouTube, Kirsche cited a website Not saying it's Kiwi Farms, by the way, because they don't want people to go into that Kiwi Farms thread with my dead name and the incorrect pronouns. My dead name was uncensored in her video and stream screenshot. Kirsche. Why didn't Kirsche protect me? As I mentioned above, I don't have any innate problem with That's probably the biggest fucking lie it said in this article. And other VTubers criticizing my work. But when the community is filled with transphobia and criticism is just so happens to line up with the community's anti-trans bias when it's done in a way to reinforce harassment already happening within the community, that's different. I have no patience for that. Nor should you if you're also a victim of this kind of behavior in VTubing. See? This is, again, if you haven't noticed, this is where the fucking pretense of journalism is just completely dropped. This is a fucking call to action. This is yellow journalism at its finest. Pushing a personal agenda. While trying to paint this as an overall problem of other people. Not just this fucking asshole's problem. Why did criticism of my article take on such a loaded political nature? Because you're a retard, that's why, and you painted it as such. Why did so many right-wingers and VTubers attack my character and you usher in a large conversation on trans people's rights to exist in VTubing spaces? Words, Kirsche under the T, or bizarrely aggressive right-wing Christian VTuber, these groups are mobilizing their fan bases for more than just criticism. They are using their communities to foster and embrace beliefs like queer women don't exist, trans women aren't women, and then trans people only to try to invade space they are not welcome in. Criticism shifted from the article to the person, and from the person to the symbol she represented. Transness, queerness, lesbianism, degeneracy. Again, not any fucking activist on a Valence. You are a degenerate. And you're using all of this to puff yourself up. Some kind of weird power trip along with Bint. In order to get revenge on everyone that has gone against you. That's why you include all of these specific people. That's why you wrote the VLure article. That's why you wrote the article about Kirsche. And that's why you wrote the third article about fucking the people that decided to go after you. And furthermore, that's why you decided to go after my workplace, because you were ignored and not accepted in our midst. All the shit that you do is for petty revenge because you weren't accepted, because you're a retard that people want to steer away from. You cannot force other people to accept you, and at some point you have to under fucking stand that people will not tolerate that fucking behavior. No way. This is a contrived campaign started by a T-slur journalist. And there's fucking more 4chan posts, because why not? It's so fucking boring already. This is exactly why Rinpin was met with so much hostility. Yes, partly because of a pre-existing tension that dated back to the VLure article, but also because her decision to cut ties with gamersubs was raised as intensely political as a commentary on the larger culture war happening in VTubing. If this environment isn't confronted, the harassment of myself and others will only get worse. One called for Penrose to end her affiliation with Live Dudes association with creators whose views strongly conflict with her own. This is a contrived campaign started by a T-slur journalist. In many parentheses used as quotation marks. Named Anna Valens that already flopped when she got some random F-slur to disavow Kirsche on stream, but then when she tried to take a lap about it, he told her to fuck off. A thing that happened, I covered that too. On one VT user wrote, using parentheses to imply I am Jewish, that T-slur VT manager is fucking parentheses asexual. Rin Penrose then decided to bite the retard bullet. And there's Valence linking themselves as a fucking source. with all of that shit that was already said, by the way. And lastly, in case you're, again, not certain, these last few paragraphs where why this was written. The English VTuber community is at crossroads. Do we allow this sort of rhetoric continue? Do you see this fucking sneaky use of plural? Fucking plural? I need a fucking drink because my throat is dry. Plural. As if, you know, Valence is talking for a fucking community. Do we allow this sort of rhetoric to continue? Do we allow the far right to fester in our communities? To hang out in our streams? Retard, they don't go to your streams because you either don't stream or have any viewership. They don't come for you because you're not an interest to them. Stop being retarded. Nobody goes to your streams with those types of opinions that you just espoused. The spread lewd and lurid lies about marginalized people. I like that they added lewd here as well. Everywhere they go, they hold management, talent, and agencies hostage to their whims. Yes, because Via Lure can't do anything. Via Lure is being held hostage by 4chan. You heard it here first. And this is the type of person that calls other people hysterical. This isn't an expression of hysteria. What these other people do is. I find the answer shockingly easy here. Agencies can express their full-throated support for trans viewers. VTubers can actively purge bigots from their communities. Chat. Over the last like 5 years or more, how many fucking VTweeters or smaller indie VTubers you have seen that made the virtual signaling comments like bigots, transphobes, racists, whatever, do not belong in my community, it's a safe space for X, Y, and Z. People have been doing this shit forever. Valence is just a fucking tourist and doesn't even fucking know that this has always been happening. And all of these fuckers are just a blip on the radar on every fucking thing. This is nothing new. But the time is ticking. Oh, now there's an ultimatum. So fucking scary. It's clear based on the existence of everything from VT to the virtual asylum that this problem is getting worse, not better. And harassment of marginalized fans, creators, and journalists will not go away until agencies and VTubers set the standard. Yeah. It's so fucking funny that, you know, your attacks, very poorly disguised as criticism, aren't considered you firing the fucking gun first, and this just being a reaction to your retarded arguments. No, you are being attacked. You are the fucking victims here. Get fucked with that sort of fucking mindset. Enough is enough. Bigotry has no place in VTubing. Let's end this problem before it gets worse. Just, you know, go take a hike off a fucking cliff or something. Jesus Christ. Brave fighter for marginalized fucking rights. What a fucking ego trip this was. I'm lucky this is fucking over. I am already so fucking tired. What a piece of garbage. Both the author and the fucking article itself. But we have more to go through, chat. I'm sorry. I like the BP spokesman when they made a huge fucking oil lick in the middle of the ocean. I'm sorry, Chan. We have more to go through. So sorry. Let me show you my butt. So sorry. So on Blue Sky, of course, Valens was live tweeting or live blue skying all of this shit. I'm not reading any of this shit too closely. Just you have to know that they were doing this live and just going there to, you know, antagonize people as well. At one point, they even noticed that Valens was reading their shit. I need to find that particular post. See, there it is. Hi, VYT. And it says, spoilers. I meant this. I was curious if anyone else complaining about VLore and saw the journalist using screenshots of our folders, of our threads. Older threads. Don't give them attention, but be aware that they're here and we'll use our words to paint the entire corpo and their collective fan base. Like, what has happened? Exactly the same thing this person said has happened. Because this retard decided to fucking, insert themselves to a place that doesn't like them. And then paint the whole fan base as such. And then just getting butthurt of all of these comments from 8chan and 4chan. Freak, misgendering, chance beyond in quotes. Suggest I'm a mad dog that should be put down. God, their fan base is just awful. I went to a place that's rabbit. I didn't go look for other places where VLure has a fan base. And now I'm mad. Obviously, last night's thread about regarding VLure was very depressing, but I do want to reiterate that the problem is with management and corporate direction, not talent. Yes, I'm critical of Imi and alarmed by Shibi's Kali / Lolicon jokes, but I have nothing but kind words for Azura and Mercy. And do you think Azura and Mercy would have kind words for you attacking their fucking company and genmates? Do you think that that's gonna go over very well with them? Because I'd like to have Azura and Mercy's opinion on that, but no. Just don't comment on that, Azura and Mercy. Just keep doing your work and ignore this fucking retard like you have been all this time. It's not fucking worth to engage with this fucker. Unless they decide to go after your income, then all the stops. You should just take out all the stops and just go full force after them. If they decide to go after your income and try to ruin your lives like that, just take out all the stops and fuck them up. Because a person being butthurt about you is not fucking allowed to take your money away. Because they feel they're a fucking reject. Icy also appears to be aging up her character out of the lolly state, and that was my only concern with her as well. No lolly model, nothing to criticize. I wish her the best with 2.0. What a fucker. How you're gonna like that fucking last section of this stream. It's coming soon. I fucking hate hypocrites like you don't fucking believe, chat. That said, I believe all 6 models should be vocally come out in support of trans folks and / queer talent in the industry. Bend over backwards, let me fuck you in the ass, or otherwise I'll keep fucking writing articles and threads upon threads about you. Like, it's clear to me that everyone needs to take some steps to get this type of out of their viewer base. And these fucking posts that you already seen in the article. Here's them promoting that article. Read through it, some user says on Blue Sky. Good article. Most infuriating thing is just how much evidence you're able to provide here. To be clear, I'm not complaining about how often you put links in the article. I'm complaining about them being there being enough to be able to link to it every 7 or so words. That's what happens when you cherry pick shit out of out of a place that's already fucking aggressive towards you. Again, very surprising. Worst part is this is like 2 and I don't see what's the fucking 2% of that's a percent. Okay, I bet I could spend a week cataloging everything. Let's just go do it. It's not like you have anything else to do. And here's other people, other journalists, quote unquote, getting in on this. Can I send you a DM later? It's like your advice on a pitch I'm working on, VTuber related. Yes. I would really like to see an article from this person taking advice from fucking Anna Valens of all people. I'll keep a close eye out on that one because that's probably another fucking great thing coming our way soon. And guess what other place Anna went to? It's Reddit. Intellectual capital of the internet. Reddit. Reddit's VTuber community r/Kurosanji. That's even better. Which tends to lean towards right. Yeah, sure, dude. Sure thing. Had this to say about an article where I quote people calling me various slurs and telling me to kill myself. Let's see what they wrote here. Hold up. Why aren't they defending me? Stuff the shit in the bin that's marketed trash. I wish Vice would go under. Please, not another one. Relaying those here just incentivizes her to write more. Again, if those were right-wingers, why would the fuck do they use your right pronouns for you? Why would they use your pronouns for you? Why would they use the she pronouns for you if they were right-wingers? Even showed up here to defend her first one, so she's definitely aware of it too. Of course. Could we just not? She's just writing glorified Twitter threads masquerading as journalism. So let's treat them as such and not give them attention they definitely don't deserve. Can we stop making Anna Valens a thing in terms of VTubing and journalism in quotation marks? Or anything Vice related? Another article written by Anna Valens. Into the trash it goes. Trash made by trash. Vice can go under soon enough. Probably Valens gets more attention with writing about VTubers, but not to give her more. Again, Kurosanji is a very retarded place. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They have some retarded people on there too, and some retarded threads as well. But this is, if r/Kurosanji makes themselves look reasonable compared to you, then that might be a fucking problem. Because all of these users say things that are very easily agreeable. It's very easy to understand their points. What a fucking shit show. And again, finally, we get to the last part. So I'm not gonna torture you guys with this thing any longer. There's my personal involvement in this shit again. Did I censor most of these screenshots properly so YouTube doesn't fucking bonk me? Hopefully. But if not, I don't give a shit. Let's just go through it, because hypocrisy is something I really fucking love pointing out. This one's fucking awesome. Remember how I told you about Anna fucking Valens's dislike for all of that lolicon shit? And actively advocating against it? Well, let's read some of this shit. In my humble opinion, the normalization of lolicon in the adult VTubing space is not sustainable. Your retarded Gura sold fucking billions upon billions. Of course, that's an exaggeration of fucking Dakimakuras that are quite lewd. VTubing, the mainstream, caters to lolicons, something hardcore. You're retarded tourist. It's very sustainable. I have no idea what you're talking about. eventually, a major sponsor is going to come in and ask why the biggest loot-tubing agency has a bunch of childlike characters creating lewd ASMR. Someone is going to shine a spotlight bigger than my own. Again, lolly VTubers have been doing lewd shit for ages now. Not, pornographic. Completely pornographic in the biggest mainstream agencies like fucking Hololive, for example. But there's a lot of catering to lolicons, and all of that shit sells like fucking hotcakes. And no one gives a shit. And if you want to create problems for these people, if you want to contact credit card processors and banks about this in order to get them in trouble for it, everyone's gonna fucking know who did it. And people are gonna go after you something hardcore. The shit that you experienced from anonymous users on 4chan and 8chan is gonna be like a kiss on the cheek compared to what the fucking Hololive fans are gonna do to you if Hololive ever gets in trouble from credit card fucking processors because of stuff like that. But I doubt they will, because agencies like Hololive know how to cover their tracks. And even if Visa and MasterCard decide to drop them for whatever reason, they have alternatives, and they will have alternatives ready for overseas fans as well, I imagine. But yeah, this is a long-standing problem, chat, with credit card processors and middlemen between banks that has been going on for decades now at this point. This has been going on for at least 15 years now. And all of this stuff is centered around that. Only recently have people started to discover who's actually behind this and what the reasons for that are. But again, that's a conversation for another time. VTubing is a growing industry increasingly trying to professionalize. Any serious adult venture is going to face barriers if they embrace lolicon content. No, it's not. VLR is simply too young, too new to network to avoid these setbacks. If you think VLR is setting some kind of precedent, you're just fucking wrong. And again, this just shows what kind of tourist Valence is here. Because people have been catering to lolicons with lolicon content that's been selling very well. Very easily. But it's inevitable. Visa/MasterCard alone have made that clear. Eventually, a bank, credit card company, etc. is going to knock on a door and ask why people are paying for adult content, similarly depicting child character, and that's going to be that. See, chat? With payment processors, it doesn't necessarily work like that, because what's important mainly to the banks and to the middlemen is what's written in the statement. And that's how you can pretty much be able to sell that sort of shit. Even things like PayPal do not care as long as it's not written on the statement. It's not gonna be I paid for lolicon blowjob ASMR on my fucking credit card statement or on my PayPal statement. It's gonna be some ASMR something that's gonna be sold on the statement. That's why people selling their stuff that's of sexual pornographic nature include other terms and other words on these statements, because that's what mainly these credit card processors have a problem with. Whether they decide to change that in the future or not is unknown, but that's the main issue here. So unless you fucking sell your shit as a statement on your fucking credit card bill, as a, again, lolicon blowjob ASMR, you're likely not gonna get into much trouble. And again, there are alternatives, as some chatters are already saying, even in my chat. Crypto is a thing, and it's becoming much more easily to access, and it's not beholden to middlemen like that in terms of credit card processing. And I'll tell you something from experience, chat. When it comes to being at the forefront of like groundbreaking technological advances in terms of online entertainment, porn has always been at the forefront of that. And when it comes to payment processors and that, even if all of this becomes a much bigger problem in the future, the industry is gonna run its course and it's gonna adapt to it, and it's gonna find alternatives that a lot of people can use. And government, as long as we're not living in a dystopian world, like, knock on wood, hopefully, and as long as the government doesn't step in and actually regulate porn to the point where you just cannot watch it and pornography is just completely banned, then all of this shit is just gonna become underground, because you cannot stop human nature. You cannot stop people from being horny and just getting their fucking pornographic fixes. It's just gonna go underground, and it's gonna be much less mainstream than it is. So, in essence, you cannot stop this, and people will just adapt accordingly. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself, going on tangents again. I'm here to show you this retard's, this anti-lolicon's hypocrisy. Shibi from Valor making funny jokes, considering a reference to lolicon genitals given in diminutive phrasing. A lolicon, you're saying, is making funny jokes? Again, peak journalism, fucking stop the presses. Wow, it's like you fucking discovered the sun. Like you woke up one morning, looked at the sky and said, wow, what the fuck is that bright thing in the sky? I have to tell everyone about it. Hey guys, do you know there's this bright bulb in the sky that's blinding? Do you know what that is? It kind of radiates heat. It kind of makes everything bright. What a fucking statement that is. A lolicon made a funny joke. Wow. Fuck me, man. And sometimes there's a person on Blue Sky that actually isn't completely insane and says this. You're trying to take down Via Lure. You're calling them pedophiles when they're adults and they had to retreat here since you know you would be flamed on Twitter if you defamed the agency. Please come here and legislate the issue. This won't result in collateral damage to the company by making them a culture war battleground. You fucking idiot. You made them into a culture war battleground on your own. Right fucking here. You're even like baiting them here to come so you can write more articles about them. Like, what a fucking snake. What a fucking snake that is. Holy shit, man. Oh, this is something else, but here's the hypocrisy. So Anna Valens is fucking porn addicted, and they fucking retweet shit all the time. They can't stop themselves from talking about porn, linking to porn, and retweeting porn. So someone just outright found what they're retweeting. Here's an underage character from fucking Azumanga.io. And Anna, he's retweeting them being all sweaty and showing their armpits. What did Anna have to say about this? Wait, what's going on here? That's controversial. It's just a horny, is a hot, curvy girl. So Anna, are you saying that age is just a number, and as long as the character looks adult enough, that's a good thing? Is that what you're saying, Anna? Because that's a rather pedophilic argument that you're using here. Not saying it outright, but saying that age is just a number and the body type is what matters. Is that what you're implying here, Anna? Op is trying to claim I retweeted child porn. Character looks aged up to 18 here. No, they look exactly the same as they do in the manga and the anime. Anna, this aged up bullshit to 18 just doesn't fucking work here. It's a cope. It's a cope for you people to be able to loot and get off to characters that are underage. You just say, oh, all characters are 18 plus here, even though there's no indication of that. Character looks aged up. No, my N-word, my dear N-word, my dear nigga. This is not an aged up character. They look exactly the fucking same as they look in the fucking manga and as they look in the anime. And they're very fucking underage there. And here's Anna retweeting Toho loots. And if you know anything about Toho, my dear watchers, is that Toho is full of fucking little girls. And Toho is one of the main recipients of lolicon material. I even made the fucking... I even showed you how much lolicon porn there is of Toho out there. On sites like X-Hentai, like thousands upon thousands of entries. And here's Anna retweeting Reimu being colored by Marisa from fucking Toho. So, Anna, this is, I guess, like, okay for you. Characters from a series with little girls coloring each other. And Marisa here sticking a finger into Reimu's mouth. I guess this is okay, right? Or this, them just getting on each other. No, Anna Valence reposted. It's all okay, right? This one I had to censor. Here's Futaremu and Marisa. Extra on Discord. Anna Valence reposted. Here's Marisa licking Reimu's armpit. And Reimu getting an erection out of it. Guess this is okay. And here's Anna retweeting Madoka Magica Yuri. Very passionate kiss. But Anna, I have to ask you this. Why do you, as a full-grown adult, why are you interested in underage characters having a passionate kiss with one another? Because this goes a little bit above just a romantic kiss. And even then, I have to question, Anna, why do you have an interest in underage romance and little girls, underage girls kissing one another passionately to the point that you retweeted on your 18 plus account, by the way. You can see here as well. Anna Valence, 18. Under. Not allowed on the account. So why would you retweet these little girls kissing passionately in there? Why would you do that? And here's Anna retweeting two Mikus, a Brazilian Miku and a common version Miku being lewd with one another, with Brazilian Miku proclaiming she would just eat that belly up from the normal Miku. Mikus, both 16 by the way, unless stated otherwise, but by default, Miku is fucking a 16-year-old Vocaloid. So Anna, why are you so interested in 16-year-olds talking sexually to one another in this piece of fiction? Why are you interested in two again Toho girls, Reimu and Marisa, going on each other in a doujin on Twitter that gets more explicit going on, and you retweet that? Why are you so interested in those little girls from Toho? Furthermore, why the fuck are you interested in Laplace and Chloe from Hololive making out? And this is not just a passionate kiss, they're fucking tonguing here. Why are you so interested in Laplace, a loli by the way, making out with Chloe here? Is this gonna be another deflection of, oh, I didn't know Laplace is a loli? How would I know that? I'm just a tourist to this. I just didn't know. I didn't fucking know. Innocent fucking angel. Yes, my dark indeed. Fucking hypocrite. Why would you be interested in gushing over magical girls' characters, leashing one another, and clearly being hot for one another? Why would you retweet this? Really underaged from this series. And don't fucking tell me you don't know what this series is, Anna. I know very well you know what Toho is. I know very well that you know what gushing over magical girls is. And I know you know very well what Madoka Magica is. You're not new to the series or to anime. You know that these characters are fucking underaged. Get fucked, please. Here's Bridget from Guilty Gear checking out. Here's May from Guilty Gear checking out Bridget's fucking erection. Can't show that on fucking Christian YouTube, but that's what this is. So Anna, why are you retweeting a lolly character going after a fucking Shota fanboy? I like to understand that. Well, you're gonna get some explanations from Anna later on. Here's the characters that I forgot from Masamune-kun, but she is very clearly underaged. Today is Friday, so lick my feet, and of course Anna fucking loves that shit. Retweet that shit. Here's another one that was actually naked at one point and has a very petite, I would even say lolly-like body, but Anna also loves that shit. Not only is that a retweet, that's also a fucking reply. Ah, her feet are so perfect. How more fucking obvious can you fucking be? And then Anna just retweets a fucking girl in a schoolgirl uniform saying, well, not even retweeting it, just posting a gif with a schoolgirl stepping on someone. That's the POV here. I think I'm unironically getting into feet. Anna, again, you're not fucking new into anime. You know that when a girl in a Japanese fucking cartoon wears a schoolgirl uniform, they're very likely and almost always underaged. So why the fuck are you so interested in these underaged feet? You're so against lolicon and underaged content, and then you have all of this shit plastered all over your fucking Twitter account. Fucking, it's so fucking easy, chat. And then they noticed. They noticed I'm taking them up to fucking task about all of this shit, and they say this. This VLure fan is harassing me. Yes, I am harassing you by you going to my Twitter account without me actually, adding you in any significant way. I'm just posting on my own accounts showing your hypocrisy. And I am the one harassing you while you go to my account to ego search yourself. Are you fucking dumb or something? This VLure fan, which is, more journalistic skills from fucking Anna Valens. Anna, I don't give a shit about VLure. I just care about the whole principle of the shit that you're going after an agency for no, like, reasonable reasons whatsoever fucking ever. I don't give a shit about VLure's content beyond that. In fact, I think it's kind of crude. It's not to my liking at all. I don't like VLure's content at all, I would even have to fucking say. I like some of their models, but calling me a VLure fan just by proxy because I'm going after your hypocritical ass is really stretching fucking it, calling me a VLure fan. Just call me a slur, maybe. That would be more accurate. Call me something else, not a VLure fan, because that's not right. He's harassing me by saying Toho girls are lollies and the art I shared depicts underage characters. I'm sorry, but those girls are clearly aged up because you said so, right? Toho, a series known for little fucking girls, is these characters are aged up to 18 or beyond because you said so. How the fuck do you know, my fucking N-word, that these characters are aged up? Madoka girls sharing a kiss is not pornography. It doesn't matter if it's a pornography. Why the fuck are you so interested in underage characters kissing passionately? You're a grown fucking person, grown fucking woman, so you claim. Why would you be interested in teenagers, cartoon or otherwise, kissing passionately and then repost that? I question that behavior. It doesn't matter if it's pornographic or not. Please continue to harass me. This looks great for you. Anyone seeing your bullshit knows what kind of idiot you are, and only on Blue Sky do your excuses and deflections actually work. Because no other place that knows these characters, and no other place that is reasonable enough beyond Blue Sky is gonna fucking believe you. They're not underaged because I fucking said so. They're aged up because, you know, all that matters, my dear viewers, is that the characters don't look underaged. It doesn't matter if they're canonically little girls or anything like that. It doesn't matter if the character is underage, as long as they look adult enough. It's all free pickings. Fuck away, masturbate away, do whatever the fuck you want. Because age is just a number, I guess. Oh no! Not Bridget and / May. Not artwork from artists that consistently aged up characters involved to make them look older. Come on. I'm fucking so happy that they ignored all of my other points, like gushing over magical girls or Masamune-kun fucking feet art, or that lolly looking character on the fucking lower right. It's naked that I have to censor. And saying that May here and Bridget are aged up is fucking ridiculous when they look exactly the fucking same as in the game. What a fucking cope this shit is. It's beyond cope level 100. This is going into the stratosphere. It's breaking reality. That's the levels of cope you have here. And then there was another thing, because you know that Valens actually expected to be fucking defended by VLure itself, saying shit like this. I do think it's strange VLure never stepped in and said, "Yeah, don't be like this to journalists, please." Hey, guys. I fucking attacked your whole agency and essentially called some of your talents pedophiles. Why doesn't management of this company I basically attacked came out in my defense? Why aren't they fucking sucking my dick left and right and center? The ego on this fucking bitch. Holy fuck, man. And then the cope continued. Miku is a musical instrument, extremely telling that this person assumes Miku is underage. Because she's canonically 16, you dumbass. It's not an assumption, it's a fact. No, little bit journalistic work, a little bit of digging. And by little bit of digging, I mean Google search away. And there you go, Miku is 16. Extremely telling that this person assumes Miku is underage. Yes, I am the pedophile. It's not you that essentially thinks age is just a number. And as long as the characters look not underage, it's all fucking fine. Fucking journalism. Am I right, chat? Here's Miku. Hatsune Miku. Sometimes called Miku Hatsune, officially codenamed CV01, is a vocalized software voice bank developed by Krypton Future Media. Its official mascot is depicted as a 16-year-old girl with long turquoise pintails. Turquoise. And then Anna fucking retweets this, which is also fucking hilarious. Like, 90% of Toho characters don't even need aging up in the first place. Marisa and Remo are adult women who drink alcohol canonically. Yeah, so? That doesn't mean they're fucking adults. And, you know, Gensokyo, where Toho takes place, is not fucking Japan. So, whatever character there can drink. The fact that they think that the fault is not their adults reflects more so their own tastes. My blue sky person in Christ. The amount of lolicon content in fucking Toho is insane. The amounts of pornography where characters are actually, you know, curvaceous with huge asses and tits is far scarcer than the lolicon content. I would fucking know this. I know this very well, being a fan of this fucking series for decades now. I know. And you know, let's go back to the argument that for V-Allure, the actual body type is the problem because to Valence they look like underage children, right? So why does Valence retweet this, saying that it's okay for underage for characters to drink alcohol as long as they are like adult looking enough? So again, going back to V-Allure, all V-Allure talents are adults. So wouldn't it be okay for them to do all of these sexually explicit adult stuff because they're adults? Why is drinking alcohol an okay thing, but not doing lewd stuff? Like, wrap your brain around that, chat. How the fuck does this even work? And you know, let me show you these fucking adults. Let me show you these adult girls drinking fucking booze. This is an official manga, by the way. This is one of the fairy mangas for Toho. You see those? Here's your adult-looking women drinking fucking booze. You can clearly tell they're adults, right? They're just fucking imbibing. They're just drinking that sake. Like, clearly aged up for alcohol consumption, aren't they, chat? Fucking tourists, man. Absolutely everyone is a fucking drunkard in Toho. And you know why? There's a very simple reason for that. Zun, the creator of Toho, fucking loves his alcohol. Therefore, his characters love it too. And it's inserted there every single fucking time. My head hurts, chat. Fuck all of these people with a rake. Fuck their hypocritical asses. Not in a good way, as someone stated before in the stream. My head hurts. I see you next article, I guess, because Anna has decided that, you know, this is the next thing they're gonna be doing. I wonder what the next article is gonna be about. My throat hurts, my head hurts, and I'm upset. What a fucking thing to end on. Let me read chat a little bit. I'm just gonna catch up to some messages here, and then we can just get the fuck out of here. It's like school is over, session's over. Everyone can go home and be happy. All of this shit is so stupid, chat. I don't even know where to begin. Valence would accuse Tatsumaki of being underage even though she's Fubuki's older sister. Valence's argument, I imagine, would be, oh, she's aged up, so she's not a lolly anymore, I guess. Because Tatsumaki has some curves sometimes. She's sometimes drawn as having some very nice hips, especially when she's drawn by Murata in One Punch Man. So yeah, that would be the cope. That would be deflection. It's one of those one of those edge runner moments where Becca isn't a lolly anymore, despite even the creators themselves stating that she's a lolly. No, guys, she's just a small adult. She's not a lolly. Yeah, guess what? Small, petite adults in fucking manga and anime can be lollies. Surprise, surprise. Because it's a body type, not an age thing. Yeah, their aged up is the same fucking argument. It's a similar argument to the 10,000-year-old fucking dragon lolly. Oh. Gensokyo legal drinking age is 12. I don't think they have a legal drinking age in Gensokyo. I don't think Gensokyo has fucking laws, by the way. Gensokyo has... Listen. If Gensokyo has laws unless Reimu gets pissed. Gensokyo only has laws if Reimu decides to stop incidents when she gets pissed. Gensokyo starts to have laws when Reimu stops being fucking lazy and actually does her job as a shrine maiden. Like, if you want to go further, any kind of laws garnered within Gensokyo are probably controlled by Yukari, because Yukari is in charge of the border between reality and Gensokyo. So if there's anyone setting any rules in Gensokyo, it's probably Yukari, but you know, that's not a canonical thing that has ever been explored. It's all chaos until Reimu steps in, because, you know, she has to do some shit. Like, shit is going down. Reimu has to go and clean it the fuck up. That's Toho games for you. And then she complains that she has to do her job and is a greedy son of a bitch. Reimu is an asshole, chat. Not only is she fucking lazy, she's also fucking greedy. She constantly wants donations, and she's an alcoholic too. Reimu is a terrible person. Reimu is a terrible fucking person, chat. But goddamn, do these Toho characters have great fucking porn? You know what? You know what I'm gonna do, chat? Hold on. You know, I'm gonna reward you, chat, for sticking with me throughout this stream I'm gonna give you a name of a very good Toho doujinshi, a very good Toho pornographic doujinshi, so you actually leave with something nice. You know, instead of being miserable after experiencing my stream, I'm gonna give you something good. Hopefully you like it. I'm gonna give you a title. Let me just have a look-see. What's good? I'm gonna give you a Toho title. This one is a little bit too the art style is a little bit too original, I have to say. It cannot be to everyone's tastes. I need something with more universal appeal. Hold up. What's a good one? There's so fucking many. There's thousands upon thousands of those, chat. Picking one that's great is like... You know, I'm spoiled for choice is what I'm saying. It's gonna be in English too, because, you know, who reads moon runes? What's a good Toho doujinshi? Maybe one of the older ones. Like some fucking classics from the early 2000s, maybe like a mid-2000s stuff. If I give you the title, you'll find it. You guys aren't tourists. I do believe that you can find things for yourselves. You know, this one has like everything. Like at that point in time, almost every single character from the PC games is included in this one. From the lollies to the more hag-looking characters. I think you're gonna enjoy this one. This one is also available in English, so you can look for it like that. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I'm not gonna show you what it looks like. Alex Halo, thank you for the 5. One of the Toho doujin artists showed up in the Old Hall livestream on Toho Day, hosted by Marine and Fubuki. And you know why? Let me reveal something to you, chat, to all of you Toho fans. Maybe you know this, but first, here's the title of the thing that I wanted to give to you. And then you could look for it yourself. You'll find it easily. There's an English version of it too. Addressing Alex's Halo super chat again. Marine is a huge Toho fan, but you know also why? Do a lot of you know some of Marine's lore, by the way? Because Marine was popular before she actually was Marine. That's the funny part. And if you're a Toho fan, you've seen Marine around, or rather, you heard her around. There's this one very popular Toho meme song, which I'm gonna link to you in the chat. Maybe we can listen to it too. Let me reduce my BGM here. The moment, let me get YouTube up. Just a moment. Do you know that very popular? It's so old now. God damn, it's like almost 2 decades old now. Holy shit, that's an old fucking song. Toho is so old by now. Wow. Not only did Marine draw Toho, she actually even provided a voice. A very popular Toho theme song. Hold up. And it's called Overdrive by Yosis. Let's listen to all of it, and I'll pinpoint the moment where you can hear Marine. And it's very clear that it's her. Did you hear that? One of the most fucking popular Toho memes is voiced by Marine before people actually known she was Marine. All of that easy mode, only kids play in easy mode in Japanese. That's Marine. This is a teenage fucking Marine. I think she was like 16 at that point, something like that. That's very clearly fucking Marine's voice. So any of you Toho fans, that's your lore for Marine. One of the most popular Toho fucking memes. The easy mode one. Voiced by Marine. What a fucking story that is, that it all tied up together. That's a positive note to end the stream on. At least. You came out of it with a little bit of porn and a little bit of Toho lore knowledge, so it's all good. So thank you for coming out to the stream. It's been a pleasure until it stopped being a pleasure. Because fuck, these people are annoying. I'm gonna play you guys off with a cool song. And I'll see you on the next one when it happens. I don't know what happens. I need a motivation. I need a good story to attach myself to have a stream. I need a reason to do what I do. So I'm gonna play you off with a classic. I hope some of you actually recognize it. So until then, you guys have a good one. Have a good evening. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you find yourself in the world. Stay hydrated. Stay off Twitter, unless you like porn. Porn is always good on Twitter. And don't go to Blue Sky, because there's nothing interesting there, unless you want to laugh at people. Unless you want to laugh at very unreasonable leftoids. That's what Blue Sky is for. But I'll see you in the near future, hopefully. So until then, you guys take care, and bye-bye.